The huge supply of weapons and ammunition was found buried on the outskirts of Mogadishu. Acting on a tip from a Somali source, U.S. troops began digging in an abandoned lot. The more they dig, the more they find. One officer calls it a real smorgasbord of weapons.
This stuff comes from everywhere. There's a lot of American ammunition, a lot of French, a lot of British, a lot of Russian, mostly Russian. We even found some Israeli ammunition in here.
The weapons belong to a Somali faction commanded by General Aidid, who controls the southern part of Mogadishu. They have been buried recently, within the past day or two, in an apparent attempt to evade the searches by American troops. It is an unending effort to de-arm this country. How the Somalis were able to collect so much weaponry is open to conjecture, but some of it has never been used.
This is a spotting scope right here they use for artillerymen. Brand spanking new.
It is no secret that Somalia is a country of guns and violence, but a find such as this proves just how well and how dangerously Somalians are armed. Jim Hickey, ABC News, Mogadishu. One officer called it a smorgasbord of weaponry. 30 tons of ammunition, to be specific, buried or waiting to be buried in the African sand. Acting on a tip, U.S. troops uncovered this enormous stash of ammunition on the outskirts of Mogadishu.
We're hitting everything here. We've got small arms ammunition, we have the big stuff, we have artillery rounds, we have mortars, AAA ammunition, you name it, we have it. RPG rounds, everything.
It comes from several countries that have supplied weapons to Somalia over the years, including the U.S., Russia, and Israel. Officers say the ammunition belongs to a faction allied with Somali General Aidid, the warlord who controls the southern part of Mogadishu. Aidid had promised to cooperate with the U.S. military roundup of Somali weapons. But in what appears to be a not too subtle attempt to evade that search, the ammunition was buried only recently.
My guess would probably be in the last 2 or 3 days, and I would assume, my guess also with the stuff we found underneath the tarp, appears that it was in the process of being buried as well when we probably intervened or interrupted their activities.
U.S. officials say confiscation of ammunition like this will probably put some Somali gunmen out of business. That is exactly their intent. Jim Hickey, ABC News, Mogadishu. Come on, ABC, lend a hand. Let's go. This is what American soldiers encountered when they arrived in Somalia nearly 2 months ago, a country of starvation. More than 300,000 Somalis have died since 1991 through famine, disease, and civil war. Today, it is a much different picture. Here, relatively healthy children are dwarfed by U.S. Marine T-shirts. To be sure, Somalia still has hunger and malnutrition. But in one area, for example, where last fall 6,000 people starved to death in a month, less than 10 a day are dying now, and very few are children.
There's been an enormous amount of change for the better. Aid is getting through.
This is also what American soldiers encountered when they arrived last December. A country of anarchy, torn apart by civil war. No government, no laws, only guns and chaos. Today, there is some sense of order in Somalia. A coalition of more than 20 nations, led by the United States, is the law of the land now.
Hey, no, do it. Get up. That's it. All right, song white, put these on the back of the truck.
We came to a nation that was very chaotic, a nation that was basically feeding on itself. The stability and the security that's come to the city is just remarkable. It's not completely cured, but it's night and day from when we arrived, absolutely.
Pauline Moore is an energetic and dedicated relief worker with an agency called Concern. She has been in Somalia long enough to see the changes the soldiers have brought. How much of a difference has the military made here, specifically the American military?
Well, if we didn't have the military here, we wouldn't be able to carry out an operation like this.
The operation is a massive food distribution program for nearly 5,000 people in the town of Wanlawayn, west of Mogadishu. It is the most ambitious attempt by Concern in this area so far. The last time food was distributed here, there was a riot.
You see, it's very difficult to do a distribution because of crowd control, and you're afraid of hurting people, especially small children that may be with their mothers. So what we try to do is organise it as best we can. We gave the women cards here today. Yesterday we gave them the cards. They came back today with their card. We checked the card, and the card allowed them to have a 50-kilo bag of wheat. We're trying our best to bring them in queues, as you've seen inside. The queue up, the card is ticked off that they've received their bag and they can go home.
While the presence of the U.S. military and its coalition partners has changed Somalia, so too has the mission changed. What began as a humanitarian effort to feed millions of starving people has evolved into a policing action. It is a change commanders gradually and reluctantly realized. The realization came with a price. 2 soldiers have been killed and 1 has been wounded by Somali gunfire.
Price, I'm coming through. Piper, this is Piper 3, over.
The troops have come to understand they have to go after the guns and the gunmen who are shooting at them and at other Somalis.
Move! Back up, please. Move! Back up. Let them through. Get them away. Yeah, get out of the way.
There's two types of Somalis here. Those that are friendly, that are happy that we're here, and those that we're taking their livelihood away. The bandits, the thieves, the rogues, obviously do not want us here, and because we're stopping their livelihood by taking the weapons away from them. The majority of the Somalis, I think, are good people and are very happy to see us here because we're stopping the killing. We're stopping the fighting.
The amount of weapons and ammunition the military is finding is astounding. This week, soldiers uncovered at least 3 secret stashes. They carried away 30 tons of ammunition from this one. Even so, there is still a lot more firepower hidden in this country. Sometimes the troops are tipped off about the weapons.
How far? How far? Just down the road. Yeah, down the road.
Sometimes it just takes plain old detective work.
You shoot a 270-degree azimuth from there.
You got a 4.7?
Looking north. Yeah, I got
Oh, you went 4 digits, aren't you? Okay.
The 1st platoon of the 511th Military Police Company knew that snipers had hidden guns somewhere in the bush outside Mogadishu. Exactly where, they did not know.
They heard a gunshot from that direction.
Just one shot?
Yeah.
Interpreters are essential to the weapons search.
Yeah? Up to 3 shots.
3 shots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm sending. Thank you.
The questioning of villagers and the following of lead brings the 1st platoon to a banana farm.
Those hamlets down there are all part of this big here farm. That's what they were talking about, the big farm. And this is the big farm where they've got the weapons cached, whatever they've got here. Right. Okay, thanks.
And what they find here surprises even them.
I'm out here.
Got it. What else? What else?
It is a loaded, U.S.-made anti-tank weapon.
Lay it down here and just stand by.
Jesus Christ. You didn't see that? Huh? You didn't see that?
This? You see where he had it hidden? Oh, I saw what's inside.
Yeah.
Big round.
The roundup of weapons and the opening of food supply routes, commanders say, means the U.S. mission here is all but accomplished. Somalia is about as stable as it's going to get, and the military is ready for the United Nations to take over.
We would be delighted at any time in the near future to turn over to some peacekeepers, yes. And exactly when, I think within the next month, we're going to be finished.
The problem is the UN is not ready, and there is no indication when it will be. Relief workers say it will be a mistake for the UN to take over and are pressuring the U.S. to remain indefinitely.
Basically, the Americans will have to stay here in Somalia for a number of years. The clan rivalries, the hate, the scores that have to be settled, unless there is an independent armed force policing and keeping people apart, these people will be back at each other's throats, and this country will be again, we will see far greater genocide than we experienced before.
The Somalis, with American assistance, are trying to assemble their own police force. But the policemen aren't even armed yet. And untangling Mogadishu's impossible traffic is easy compared to the task of untangling Somalian politics. It is a difficult dilemma U.S. soldiers are facing. Their orders are to see that Somalis are fed. They are doing that. The question is, how does the U.S. finish this mission and pull out without leaving Somalia victim to its own rivalries and hatred? So far, no one has the answer. Jim Hickey, ABC News, Mogadishu.
ليش اللي ما جبت؟